Hey there, folks. This is Rudy here, and we are doing the Random Roundup podcast, episode 4. Yes, episode 4. That was a bad start, but
The new one.
the newest one.
The newest one.
Sorry, I lost count, but that was a bad intro. But you know what? We're gonna stick with it because we got a lot to talk about.
Oh, yes, we do.
So,
That's right.
what you guys been up to?
I think what I've been up to mostly is trying to get college work done. You know how that is. It's stressful. I mean, haven't been really focusing on anything else. Just trying to get all this work done.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much it. I would have to say. How about you, Rudy? What you been up to?
So after I finished Slide 2, I've been working on finishing Slide 3. I'm currently halfway through the game.
Nice.
It is a shorter game than number 2. Fun fact, they were working on Slide 3 first before they started working on Slide 2, but yet Slide 2 did better than Slide 3.
Wow.
So they were working on 2 games at once. So that's an interesting fact for you guys.
That's cool. Okay.
That's what I've been up to, really.
Dylan,
Nice.
boy, would you like to go?
Yeah, so I've just been playing a lot of Red Dead lately.
That's always fun.
That's always fun, and yeah, we usually have a lot of Red Dead gameplay, in our videos, and yeah, it's always a lot of fun. And the Outlaw Pass 4 came out, and so I'm just working on that and enjoying that and checking out all the cool outfits and getting ready for the Halloween pass for Red Dead, which looks really good. I saw a preview of that with some of the masks and some of the fun, interesting stuff in that one. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be fun.
Speaking about Red Dead, fellas, sorry, but I'd like you guys to know I'm almost there. I'm almost to the goal. I have 12 bars of gold right now, fellas.
Nice. We're gonna get you that 13 gold bars tonight.
Yes,
Nice,
yes. I'm excited. Dylan, I've been listening to you, man. I haven't bought no gold yet. I need to have the satisfaction of getting this.
Good. You can do it.
Yes.
You can do it.
You're almost there.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
You just gotta do the daily challenges and you'll be good.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, games like Red Dead Online and GTA Online, they actually do teach you a little bit of life skills about saving and buying.
Unlike Jaime.
Good.
With his Walmart discount hat.
But yeah, saving up for stuff, buying good stuff that's going to make you more money, stuff like that, right? Or doing good investing,
of course,
stuff like that. So I know it's funny, but it is actually a really good life skill because honestly, I know people that are just in GTA Online and Red Dead Online, they're living that broke life. They're constantly broke.
Yeah,
and I'm
crumpled up $7.
And there are ways if you save and have a game plan, you can make a lot of money and be very successful in those games if you do it right. And so that's cool. Yeah, I'm very proud of you, sir. I am glad that you are saving those gold bars and getting it together. And then, also I found out, which I shared with these guys this week too, was if you have a Rockstar Social account, you make that account, and then you do the 2-step verification, you get, I think, something like 10 gold bars in Red Dead Online, and you get $500,000 in GTA Online, and it's cool, it's fun, it's easy to set up, it's not too bad to set it up, and it's 2-step verification, so it makes your account even more safe. So it's totally worth it, and that's another little life hack there for our gamer friends out there that love those games. Get a little bit of extra money in there. So yeah,
it's good. It's
good. Okay, well, obviously we should talk about our topic, right?
Let's jump into today's topic because this is going to be a long one. So, today's topic is myths and legends that could possibly be real, but maybe they're not.
Oh, yeah.
Such as the Slenderman, Cthulhu, maybe.
Yeah.
That could be real. We don't know.
Yeah.
It could be real. It could not be. But that's why we're here.
Yes.
It gets you thinking, doesn't it?
Yes. It really does if you think about it, fellas.
All right. I think I would like to go first, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Go ahead, Rudy. Go ahead.
Oh, man. So, I might be talking about 2. So first I want to start off with is No End House. I love the story of No End House. It's such a simple thing, but It's really good.
So give us a breakdown of what is No End House. What is it?
So No End House is this guy's friend. He texted him about a haunted house where if you beat it, you get $1,000, which is pretty good. It's pretty good. I'd do it. Okay. But when he shows up, it looks so laughable that it looks really embarrassing. Like if it was meant to scare kids. Mm-hmm. So the first level, it gets a little, not as spooky, but a little scarier. But with the animatronics that jump out at you. Mm-hmm. And then there's the second level. It gets a little more creepier as time goes by. Third level, it starts getting bad. Fourth level, it gets way worse. I forgot like the exact rooms of the order they're in, but I remember there was one with where it's pitch black and it sounds like you're in the woods, and it sounds like there's a bunch of wasps, maybe. Okay. Like some sort of flying bug, not like a fly or a bee or anything, like a big flying bug, like a mosquito or something. Mm-hmm. And then you start hearing that, and it just gets worse. There's one part where you think you exit the maze, and you're just like, screw it, I don't even want the money anymore. Mm-hmm. I'm out of here. Mm-hmm. And then it creates this illusion where you think you're going home, and then bam, you're right back in the No End House because there's literally no end.
Wow.
It's crazy. It sounds ridiculous, but who knows? It could be real.
No, and I think I remember you telling me this back, way back then. You're mentioning this to me. I was like, oh crap, that is legit. That could, I'll crap myself if I was in that situation.
It sounds real, but who knows?
I mean,
so this is kind of like what they escape rooms, right? Kind of like that's the idea, right? It's like they're escape rooms, but it takes on a really creepy twist to it. Yeah. So I'm looking through I'm on the Creepypasta wiki, and I would. Oh no, not as right. No, not as much. Just kidding. And so I'm looking through. I'm looking through the No End House and the story here. It's a long story.
It's really good.
But yeah,
it's better to hear it in video form.
Yeah. So I if it wasn't quite as long, I would have considered maybe reading it. But yeah, it's too long to read. But needless to say, yeah, this sounds.
Unless if you're a reader.
Yeah.
I read the entire thing. It made me feel scared at some parts and suspense. I really liked it.
Yeah. No, I meant reading it like right now. Like
right now.
But I'm gonna read this later when the lights are on and maybe there's sunlight out, just so that I don't. I remember I saw an interview with Gillian Anderson. She did the X-Files, and I used to love the X-Files when I was a kid, and she said that whenever she'd read the scripts for the new episodes, whenever the sun would go down, she would stop reading them. And I'm like, I feel the same way. Like if I start reading some of this stuff, some of these creepy stories and stuff,
it's not gonna end well.
It's not gonna. Yeah, when the sun goes down, no, I'm not gonna read it.
I would disagree with you there. I would have kept going.
Yeah,
I like creepy stuff. So I mean, I don't mind the scare once in a while.
Yeah,
I mean that's good. I'm excited. I mean. Horror fan.
Horror is amazing.
Yeah, I love horror. People hate it sometimes, but I find it enjoyable. I mean, I could go for
there's like mysterious parts of it. Like, could this possibly be real?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it complete BS?
Mm-hmm. Who knows?
Yeah. Or what I'm inclined to believe is maybe there's a little bit of truth in there, with a lot of the myth and legend wrapped around it, right?
Yeah.
Like so. Of the maybe some parts are exaggerated or some parts are like misunderstood, but when they're communicated, but like there is some truth to it, and so those are the things that make it interesting when you hear these stories, like we were a little bit earlier we were talking about the back rooms, and that's
my next story.
Okay, I was gonna say so that's a perfect segue. We'll go into that, but we were talking about that, and I'll follow up with you on the back rooms right now when you intro that.
Keep going, yeah.
So, what did you guys think of No End House?
I mean,
pretty creepy, huh?
Well, okay. Questions for us right now, for all of us.
Of
Would you
course.
do it? Honestly, honest to God, would you go in there?
If
for
I could do it with a
$1,000?
group of people, yes.
Yeah, because to me, again, this is like I said, to me, as I was looking through it and you were describing it, this seems like it's a like an escape room or escape rooms,
Yeah.
right? So that's very popular. I mean, well, at least it was before, you know what happened and everything got shut down.
Yeah.
But
Well, South Park recently did one, Cartman's Escape Room.
Cartman's Escape Room. Okay, yeah. So they're very popular. So those escape rooms were really popular, and I think they are coming back now. And so I could imagine that there would be kind of like, hey, check out these escape rooms. Like there's, I think in this story that I was looking through it really quick, there were 9 rooms.
Oh, yeah, there are 9 rooms.
So there are 9 rooms, right?
And it gets progressively worse.
And each one gets worse, right? And so you go, hey, there's 9 escape rooms. And once you go from one room to the next room to the next room, and if you beat all the rooms, you get $1,000, right, or something like that, right? So you go, oh, okay, cool. Well, why not, right? Because escape rooms are fun.
Yeah.
Until like you're in there, and then it's scary.
And the
it
worst
keeps getting
part
worse.
is, as soon as you close that door, you cannot go back.
Wow.
It locks.
Wow,
So you have to keep progressing no matter what.
that's scary. Yeah.
Wow.
So I feel like again that would be a really great premise for like a movie or a story. I mean, it sounds like a good story because
Yeah,
it's like
it
you
is.
starts off as it's this fun like escape room, blah blah, and then it just keeps getting worse
Okay,
and
Yeah.
worse
I
and
think
worse.
it's good as a creepy pasta itself because let's be honest here, fellas. If they try to make it into a movie,
Like the Slenderman movie?
yeah,
they
they're
did
gonna.
that horrible.
I feel like they're gonna butcher it. I mean, again, I know I repeat myself 1,000 times, but writing is key to a
Yes.
movie.
Yes.
That will always be my thing. If it has good writing, then I'm interested in it. Quentin Tarantino, for example, does great writing.
Yes.
His movies catch my attention.
Yes.
But I'm not here to talk about writing. We're here about talking about creepypastas and myth and legends.
Yeah,
So, Rudy,
of course.
you said you had a second one, right, my man?
Yes, the Backrooms. So, this was a popular thing about maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
By the time of us talking about it. So the Backrooms is like glitching out of reality. So like let's say you were at a party or something, or like you were hanging out with your friends and you lean up against the wall, you would glitch through that and you would end up in a whole new place. Just an endless maze of nothingness.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's creepy to think about.
Yeah.
And there's levels to it, just like No End House. But excuse me. But the levels obviously get worse, and your chance of survival is pretty low.
And I don't know if Rudy wants to edit this out and edit this in a picture of the back rooms, but this is what you would be technically looking at if there's an image on screen.
Yeah,
that's the
that's
back rooms.
terrifying.
That's the back rooms. And what makes this creepypasta so terrifying is that there's different levels to the back rooms. I mean, there's a level 1 and a level 2. I think level 2 is the hardest, if I'm not wrong. But
It is.
I mean, I don't know how I feel if I would go glitched out of reality. I mean, that's truly terrifying because you don't know where you're at. And
Yeah.
Dylan, you mentioned this a couple of times. You could get out if you think you could get out.
Yeah, I've heard some of these stories before from like real witnesses or testimonies from people, and I'll listen to all kinds of stuff. I'm always into kind of this unexplained stories or creepy stories, stuff like that. And so, people that have crossed into, they even did a Twilight Zone episode of this one where they fall into the little girl was sleeping in her bed and she rolls her, as she's rolling around, she accidentally rolled through the wall into like another dimension, right? And a lot of these testimonies and the stories and stuff like that you're crossing to this weird dimension where your mind makes things real, right? Like almost kind of like the Matrix, right? Like, when Neo is bleeding in the Matrix or bleeding in the real world, and he's asked Morpheus, why am I bleeding? And he says, your mind makes it real, right? So, from what I've heard in some of these stories or testimonies from some of these people that feel that they have accidentally stepped into this back rooms, right, or this other dimension or something like that, that they said that a lot of times their mind would create these things, like they're almost in this dimension or this place of their mind or their consciousness, and that their mind creates those things that are real. So, for example, if they think of their little dog, that dog appears. Mm-hmm. They see a dog. Stuff like that, where their mind actually creates things. And here's the spooky thing is, if you think that you can get out, there's a way out. But if you panic and you think that there's no way out, there is no way out, because your mind now creates that there's no way out.
Of course.
And so that's the thing that is kind of spooky about this. And you know, yeah, we were talking about this of, you know, even in like, and I've studied in a very, very general layman's way of quantum mechanics. And in quantum mechanics, so I'm not an expert by no means. I am not. Let me be clear. But I've studied stuff and I watch all kinds of interesting stuff. Uh-huh. And in quantum mechanics, there's actually the possibility that this could happen. So quantum mechanics allows for kind of all kinds of crazy things at the quantum level, the things of atoms, the sizes of atoms, where particles appear, disappear. Particles cross over to different places where they weren't supposed to be able to cross over. Well, quantum mechanics actually allows for that. And there's even some theorists in quantum mechanics that say the general idea is that, oh, well, that's only for the very, very small, mm-hmm. right? That's only for atoms and subatomic particles. That's for very tiny stuff. But there are some theorists that believe that it is possible, although very, 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 very unlikely, 0.00000 into infinity 1 chance that it can happen at our level, at the normal level, at the level of the very big, right, where we live, and that you could, however unlikely, you could hold your hand on a wall to near infinity, but that at some point near that infinity, your wall will push through into another dimension or cross over to some other place or realm or through the wall itself. That it's possible that quantum mechanics actually allows for that to happen. But because it's near infinity, they would say, well, it's near impossible. Mm-hmm. But they still keep that small possibility open that it could be real. Mm-hmm. And you have billions of people living on this planet, and some of them have come forward and said, well, it was possible, over these, hundreds of years of, since we've been recording all this stuff and really kind of talking to each other, and now with the internet and everything that's been speeding up of us being able to communicate with each other. Look, I would say, this maybe like just what Rudy was talking about when we introed this, when we started it. It could be real. It may not be real, but that's the thing that's kind of weird or spooky about it, is that there is that small possibility mm-hmm. where it could be real. And these people could be experiencing something of an unexplained phenomenon that might have its basis in reality, which to me, I don't know, it's pretty cool, pretty creepy too.
Not to mention that there's entities in the back rooms. There'll be this faceless people, and it'll be like people in the real world, and they can help you out. Mm-hmm. So that's at least a good thing.
Yeah.
But there's also ones where they make sounds, and if you go toward them, you're basically dead.
Yeah.
But so you want to avoid those, and level 2 gets even worse.
Yeah.
I think if I'm not wrong, don't quote me on this, there's a really tall one, a really tall muscular one, and I think he can literally chase you down and kill you. Mm-hmm. But there is a way to avoid him. I just don't remember how. But there's entities to this, so you're not alone.
Oh no, you're not.
Now that is also really
yeah, that's
very scary.
That's creepy.
You think you're alone, creepy. But you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it makes sense that it's that if you could get to this strange little dimension, that there might be other people or things that are in this kind of weird, crazy dimension. That's spooky. That is so spooky.
There's some theories about some of the entities used to be people, but when they got caught by others, they turned into them. Mm-hmm. Mm. So that brings up a whole new thing.
Yeah.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
It does. It really does.
It's spooky.
Wow.
That is spooky.
It made me think for a long time.
Yeah.
I was afraid to touch any wall.
Yeah.
When I first heard about the back rooms.
Oh, I don't blame you.
But here's the thing. I mean, and this is the spooky thing. It could be anything you touch.
I know.
Or anything you're in contact with, right? So this is the spooky thing. And I've heard these stories where people are walking and then they'll fall through some reality or whatever, right? They'll fall through and then maybe catch themselves or stop themselves from falling all the way through.
Yeah.
And some are like, well, maybe I was dreaming, maybe I was hallucinating, whatever. But they will say, that's what I experienced. I actually experienced something like that, right? So it's kind of spooky. It's just definitely right on that fringe, like edge of like, maybe this is real, maybe it's not. You know, so many people have come forward and said they've experienced this kind of weird stuff where they've maybe passed through this types of stuff, and I don't know.
And I remember when I first heard about this, I told Aaron about it, and we came up with we asked ourselves so many questions, let's say it was me, you, and Aaron just chilling, and then let's say you're right next to me, Dylan.
Yeah.
And I touch a wall and I go through it and I pull you.
Right.
Would you be with me in that same area, or would you be miles and miles away from me?
I don't know. And we talked about this earlier because I had mentioned where from what I've heard from other people's testimonies, your thoughts kind of generate what will happen from people that have said they've experienced that. Well, your thoughts generate that. So if I think I'm next to you, I might be next to you. But if you think I'm not next to you, I might not be next to you. Yeah. And that's the thing that's kind of spooky too, because it's if you're crossing into a dimension of just pure consciousness, that you're just your thoughts. You're just pure thought.
Yeah.
Then you can create, or you have the power to create or destroy with your thoughts. And here's the thing: if there's other things there, they can do the same thing. They can create and destroy with their thoughts. And if this is kind of what it sounds like from what I've heard from other people of these back rooms, kind of like dimensional stuff, it is kind of spooky because it makes you in a weird way. It makes you grateful for reality. It's like, oh, thank God, we have this reality where we live here, and things aren't like that. Because if there is a place where that stuff is real, it is scary, and it is chaos, and it's just anything you think or feel or worry could just create it, and you're alone with that. Yeah.
Crazy. Oh, yikes.
And then another question we had is, what if you had your phone on you? Would you have service? Would you have service over there? Would you be able to, I don't know, would it be useful to you in any way, shape, or form?
Well, again, going along with my theory on this, I think you would think you have your phone, but you wouldn't really have your phone.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if I was going along with that theory of, you're just your consciousness, you're just your thoughts, again, almost kind of in a Matrix type of way, right? Where Morpheus tells Neo, right? Again, the original Matrix is such a great movie because it brings up so many interesting ideas. But when Morpheus tells Neo in that fight training scene, and he's like, "You think that's air you're breathing now? You're not breathing air, right? You're not breathing air. You're not wearing clothes. You're just your thoughts. You're just your consciousness in this place, right?" From what I've heard, from what people and what I'm, as far as this types of stuff, and and I've also heard from people that, that's why, for a lot of reasons, but definitely this is just one more reason. That's why I've heard from people that have taken hallucinogenic drugs or different types of drugs, that's what happens when they have a bad trip or they're hallucinating, that their mind is going into a weird consciousness. Their thoughts and their consciousness is crossing over into these weird little dimensions of either positive or negative places or spaces, and then that's why you hear, oh, they had a good trip or a bad trip, right? They had it right because it's their consciousness is passing through. And so just one more reason, don't do drugs, kids. Don't play with this stuff. you're playing with stuff with your mind and your body that could really do some serious harm.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. So I just, and I listen to what so many people say and what they talk about, and so they've mentioned this type of stuff too, where it's like, yeah, if you're crossing through with your consciousness, or in a real way, or in a conscious way with your thoughts or your consciousness, and it's powerful, and you can do it in a way where you're not ready for it, and that's when and I've heard from some people that talk about this, where if they take the drugs, you're not ready for it. You're not you forced your brain and your body and your consciousness to move when it wasn't ready to do it. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I've heard some interesting, wild theories about this type of stuff, and I don't know, but I listen to what people have to say, and it's interesting stuff, and it makes you think.
Yeah,
It makes
it
you
really
think.
does make you
Yeah,
think.
so-
It really does.
What you were saying about it messing with your mind, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Lucid dreaming can also do that to you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you guys ever try to do it. You just got to be really calm and just to be able to do it. But lucid dreaming can really screw you over if you think about it. You can create false realities, like create fake memories with loved ones or friends. It's just weird. But I just wanted to add that in.
No, it's true. Yeah,
It
and
is.
and
It's a creepy thing.
It is.
It can it can either be really good for you, like you could have like one of the best dreams that feel realistic, or you can have one of the worst dreams of your life.
Right, and it's a similar thing, right? Because it's like you're just your thoughts, you're just your consciousness when you're dreaming, right? So whether you think it or create it, it makes it real, and
It makes it extremely realistic.
right,
Yeah.
and it creates
Because you feel like you're awake in the dream world.
right. And I've actually I have lucid dreamed a handful of times, so just a very few
That's
times.
pretty cool.
And most of mine have been positive, but I could imagine if you were scared or you had a negative thoughts coming to you or whatever, that it could be a bad experience. Right?
Yeah.
So like mine have been positive. Like the one that I really remember clearly was when I was lucid dreaming was, I remember I was falling. And then I go, well, no, I'm dreaming, because I would never fall like this or something. I forgot why, because in the dream I fell in a weird way, and I go, I would never fall this way. And then I go, that means I must be dreaming. And if it means I'm dreaming, I remember I just did all this weird little logic in my brain, right? Like I just did, and I go, if that means I'm dreaming, then that means that I can do whatever I want, whatever I think. And I go, I'm gonna fly. And then I literally
then
flew.
you started flying.
And I started flying.
That's
it was so
pretty
cool. Yeah, so... mine was a positive experience, but yeah, I could imagine where you maybe those
It can be dangerous.
those thoughts can be dangerous. Yeah.
Oh yeah. it could.
Especially never look in a mirror.
Yeah.
That can really screw you over.
I can imagine that would be scary.
Anyways, that was a long topic for me, but
But it's okay.
It's
No,
okay.
it was
Go next.
interesting. This is interesting stuff.
Dylan,
Yeah.
do you want to go next, or should I go next?
So I'll go next. Mine's pretty simple. Mine's pretty simple, basic. Myths or legends that scare me. Are anything to do, I'll be honest, just anything to do with like clowns or dolls. It just scares the heck out of me. I don't like this stuff. And a few years back, actually me and Rudy were just talking about this a few years back, the real big popular thing where these clowns at night, pictures of them popping up of like these clowns hanging around at night. It scared me. This was just very disturbing to me. And like, just the idea of killer clowns, like I can't stand like it or Pennywise or any of this types of stuff of these killer clowns. Like it creeps me completely out. And the one that was going on at the time where these clowns, I don't even want to talk. I mean, I'll talk about it, but I don't even want to talk about it. But there was, and you can look it up online if you want to, people, but I would say don't look. You probably maybe don't want to look this up, especially if you have an issue with clowns. But it was called Gags the Clown.
Gags, I never heard of that.
Yeah.
I never heard of it either.
So yeah,
It sounds interesting.
Yeah, tell us more
so-
about it.
so
Was this
Gag-
back in 2016?
This is like the 2016
Oh.
era, like when
Yikes.
those clowns started popping up at night. So if you look up Gags the Clown, he is really creepy looking. He wears very like dark colored, muted colored He has balloons.
Oh, never mind. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, this guy. He
Oh,
wears black and dark
that's
colors with balloons. He just hangs around at night. And I remember telling my wife, like, what if we came home at night, drove home, and we just came home at night, and he was sitting, he was standing right, like, in front of our window on the balcony or something, like. And I said, we're not going in the house. Like, we're just not going in the house. Like,
Simple as that, huh?
Yeah, I'm calling the police. I am, like...
I'm moving to a whole new area.
I'm going somewhere else because, I am not... No, I'm not. I'm not even going in the house. That's how creepy that was, especially when all that stuff was going on at the time. Yeah. It just creeps me out.
I hear that, bro.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a video of a group of teenagers, and they saw like some clowns right in front of them while they were driving, and they started freaking out, and they tried to back up, but they started chasing them. They started chasing that car.
Wow.
And then I think, if I'm not wrong, some clown showed up behind them. It was strange. And then they freaked out so much that they drove forward as fast as they could, and then they hit the clowns.
Wow.
I mean...
And I was like, oh my god, that's amazing.
I mean, if people play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. I mean, that's.
I mean, who knows if they were actually playing games? Maybe they were trying to straight up kill them.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
There were some maniacs.
Oh, it's scary. Yeah, it's scary. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of people that are, people that dress up like clowns or like, creepy people with a knife, and people have had dropped dead from heart attacks. They've had heart attacks and stuff. Like, that is scary. And they go, oh, it was just a joke. It was just a joke. It's scary. Yeah. That stuff is scary. I mean, it scares me, and I know it scares a lot of people out there. So yeah.
I like to say a story. I know me and Rudy and my friend Soda Pop.
Oh man.
This was one Halloween. We were trick or treating. I was Phantom
of the Opera. This was freshman year.
Yeah, freshman year. I was Phantom of the Opera. He was supposed to be. No, you were Jason Voorhees.
I was Jason.
He was Jason Voorhees.
Okay.
My friend Soda Pop was Goku. And we were all, we were trick or treating. We just wanted to relive childhood memories. Hang out, talk to each other.
I'm trick-or-treating this year.
Oh, yeah, same here.
I don't care if I'm 18.
Same.
Nice.
So, we go trick-or-treating to this one house, and you see these two tall clowns. And, holy crap.
My God. We just slowly walked past them.
Yeah, they had a mallet and everything. And I don't know what the hell happened.
Nope.
They started chasing us. My friend I never seen my friend Soda Pop run so fast in his life. I was running in front of him. He told me, Aaron, run the hell up, run. And Rudy over here calmly goes to the corner, and they don't chase him. No.
I started running, and then I see a bush, and I'm like, I'm hiding. Screw you guys. I don't care if you die. I'm hiding.
So we're running. He's telling me, run faster. Well, how fast do you want me to run? So we keep running down the street. I don't know how far we were going, but I think they stopped chasing us eventually. Yeah. But they were hitting that mallet hard. Woo. I mean, talk about a workout, because Jesus, that was terrifying.
And then we got lost.
Yeah, we got lost.
Oh, that's scary. That's something out of a horror movie.
It was, yeah.
Whoa. And then my parents got mad at us because we got lost. Yeah. But we couldn't do anything about it.
You were getting chased by killer clowns. Come on now, what do they expect? Yeah, that's scary. That is so scary. Oh man!
It must have been for these two guys. I was hiding.
Yeah.
Where did you hide? Where were you hiding?
So, as we were running, I'd say it was 2 houses down. Uh-huh. I saw that bush, and I just took it. I just jumped. I literally just
so you're hiding in the bush.
Yeah, I dolphin dived.
It was.
I didn't care.
I don't blame you. Yeah, good. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Aaron. But
spooky clowns chasing me down. No, I could do without that. Yeah.
Nah. That's terrifying. But
oh man.
Whew. Okay.
All right,
also, wait, I thought Dylan had a second one. Dolls.
The dolls.
Oh
yeah,
dolls.
I just it's just creepy doll. Like
those.
Not so much. I mean, those are all right. Like my mom had some like kind of angel dolls and stuff like that. Those don't bother me too much, but no, but I'll give you an example. last week we talked about, I played Resident Evil 8. There is a section in Resident Evil 8 where there's like this hallucination type of thing where people that play this game know what I'm talking about, where there's a scary doll and the doll you're in this house. It is the scariest thing. It is the scariest thing. You're in this house and the doll is talking to you, and then it moves to another part of the house. Oh, no. And then you have to find the doll, and it moves to another part of the house. Oh, no.
Wait,
no.
Why do you have to find it?
You're supposed to, because you need some part that each of these 4 characters has, and this woman who, she's kind of like the ventriloquist from Batman, right? Like, she has her doll that kind of speaks for her.
Oh,
almost,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So she has this kind of ventriloquist doll. Well, when you're hallucinating or you're going on this weird thing, the doll starts talking and moving and acting. Oh, it's creepy.
Oh, yeah.
It's creepy.
I bet.
Yeah, I could not watch, Chucky when I was younger. I could not watch like anything to do with dolls, like violent, crazy doll, or that movie that came out a little while back, Annabelle. Yeah, I haven't watched it.
No, I don't blame you.
I know what it's about. I know it's about an evil doll. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna watch it.
You do know that's based on a true story, right?
And I've heard that exactly. That's why I'm like, I don't. Yeah,
there's a real Annabelle doll somewhere in the world.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
But it's a Raggedy Ann doll.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want nothing to do with it. I do not want to watch it. Yeah. And the fact that it is a myth or legend that could be real, nope. No, I'm not interested.
Give me the Bible and everything.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm not, amen. I'm not gonna, no. I want nothing to do with that. I want nothing to do with creepy dolls. Mm-hmm. No. Yeah, clowns and dolls.
I hear that.
I'm done.
Okay. Now, to me, we are going to talk about the urban legend Polybius.
Polybius is a good one.
Yes, it is. And if none of you guys know what Polybius is, well,
I do not.
It is an old arcade game back in the 80s.
Okay.
Now, it is rumored that when you play this game, you get insomnia, you get an aneurysm, you get bad headaches.
You get the worst thing.
Yeah, you start, apparently your stomach starts to hurt. Everything. And I want to tell you this, apparently this was in Portland, Oregon. And there's supposed to be gameplay about it. Mm-hmm. The thing is, people say that it's not real. People say they played it before. Yeah. And it's not real. People think the government had something to do with it. That's why they got rid of the game.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like a government experiment with people.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Especially because it sounds so real because arcades were extremely popular back then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that would obviously be a perfect time for the government to like experiment on people, you know?
And people say they found this. This is just a replica. No one knows if it's real or not.
Polybius.
Yeah, Polybius.
Okay. I'm gonna look this up right now.
No one knows if it's real or not, and I would love to find the game so I can play it myself. I mean, there's this.
You would want to play this game.
I would want to see if it will actually have some type of
it's like
psychological damage.
I don't know if I want to play that.
I mean, it has a lot of bright colored visuals that mess with your mind, and it gives you kind of a headache.
Yeah,
and it's crazy.
And there's this YouTuber called the Angry Video Game Nerd, and his content's usually funny. And he did a video about Polybius, and apparently he found the legit one. People don't know if it's legit or not. To me, that doesn't look legit. It doesn't look legit.
So I looked this up on Wikipedia. Mm-hmm. So this is under the Wikipedia's legends, listing here. The story. This is under legends on the Wikipedia. Mm-hmm. The story tells of an unheard of arcade game appearing in several suburbs in Portland, Oregon in 1981.
Yep.
Something of a rarity at that time. The game is described as proving popular to the point of addiction, with lines forming around the machine, often resulting in fighting over who would play next. The legend describes how the machines were visited by men in black who collected unknown data from the machines, allegedly testing responses to the game's psychoactive effects. Players supposedly suffered from a series of unpleasant side effects, including amnesia, insomnia, night terrors, and hallucinations. Approximately 1 month after the supposed release in 1981, Polybius is said to have disappeared without a trace. The company named in the accounts of the game Sinoslostian, I'm probably butchering that name, The word is described by writer Brian Dunning as, quote, not quite idiomatic German, end quote. It's a word constructed outside the norms of the German language, usage, and grammar, meaning sense delete or sensory deprivation. If it were a German term of actual use, Sinusloschen would be pronounced like this. I'm not going to pronounce it. The word's meanings are derived from the German words "sein," meaning senses, "loschen," to extinguish or to delete, though the way they are combined is not standard German. Historians and journalists studying the urban legend note that the name of the purported arcade game itself, Polybius, is the name of a classical Greek historian born in Arcadia, known for his assertions that historians would never report what they cannot verify through witnesses, interviews, and with eyewitnesses. Ooh, okay. Well, that sounds very.
And people could replicate the Polybius so they can make it seem like it's legit.
Yeah.
But they don't know. We don't know where the legit console's at. Not console, but the arcade machine. No one knows where it's at.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, I would like to play to see if something would happen. Because people started throwing up over some of these things. Hallucinations.
But you would really play it?
I would. I would really want to see what psychological damage could it do. I mean, if it's saying...
That sounds pretty severe, man.
I know, but like, I'm curious. If this legend is real, then where is it?
Yeah.
Men in Black took data.
Yeah.
Is the government hiding something from us in this arcade machine?
What would they want?
Yeah, what would they want with it?
What would they want with gamers' info?
Yeah.
Especially back in the 80s.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, what room were you talking about? It's not the back rooms. You were talking about it earlier with...
Normal porn for normal people.
No. It's your first creepypasta you talked about on the podcast.
Oh, shoot. I forgot.
Oh, you talked about... the no exit. No
end house?
No end house.
Yeah.
No end house.
You know how Rudy would like to try that?
Yeah.
I would like to try Polybius because I'm so... I don't know,
guys. I feel like you're playing with fire if you were...
I know, but like...
I'd rather play Polybius and go through a no-end house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm being frank.
Again, the angry video game nerd apparently found it legit. He doesn't think it's the legit arcade machine.
Yeah, he played it. He didn't have any issues with it.
It kind of didn't look like the legit arcade machine because I don't know if you guys ever been to Chuck E. Cheese or John's Incredible Pizza, but
yeah,
I've been there.
Yeah, they had this jet game, and it's a modern and then the video what I saw, it looked like a modern joystick. It didn't look like the 80s joystick. So from there, I knew it was fake.
Right.
I mean, I'd really like to know, where is it? Is it in Area 51? Is it in some Indiana Raiders of the Lost Ark file cabinet? Who knows?
Top men are working on it,
Yeah.
Aaron. Top men.
Yeah, trying to find out why gamers are playing this game.
Yeah. And it's just a simple arcade game. There's nothing special about it. It's just a space shooter. That's it.
That gave people a really
Bad. Yeah.
Amnesia, insomnia, night terrors, and hallucinations.
Yes.
That is, I don't know. I mean, how long would you play it? Let's say if we had the game tomorrow.
Okay, well, what you read right now said that people played on it for hours. They had bags under their eyes probably. People fought over the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it says the game is described as proving popular to the point of addiction, with lines forming around the machine, often resulting in fighting over who would play next.
But what would be so special about a space shooter?
I don't know. That's the thing. We'll never know, and that's sad. And you can see Polybius making it's an iconic treasure now. It was in The Simpsons at one point, and they made an episode in The Simpsons.
Oh, I was looking on this. I thought I saw a thing on this. In popular culture section, this is still I'm on the Wikipedia. In 2006 episode, Please Homer, Don't Hammer 'Em, features an arcade. With a Polybius game machine. Rocket Jump's 2015 anthology series, Dimension 404, featured an episode based off of the Polybius urban legend. Yeah, this is... there's a number of references. Nine Inch Nails music video for their 2017 single, Less Than, features visuals from a Polybius video game throughout. And the game's visuals featured in the video were designed by Jeff Minter. Yeah, so this is interesting. Yeah, this is very interesting. But here's the thing: if it was highly addictive, highly like distorting of your ability in your mind, it doesn't surprise me that they were like, okay, like we're pulling it, we're taking it all away, because just of how dangerous it is. It is spooky though. I mean, you can imagine that that something like that is possible, because I have heard of like people that. And again, now you can't get away with this too much, especially because so many people have with really bright lights and flickering lights, stuff like that. They have seizures and stuff. Now you hear about this where people come forward and people that are prone to seizures, they won't do flickering lights. But in 1981, they might have done that. So on the screen, you're watching these strange flickering lights. But here's the thing: from what I've seen, also that when they have those light flickerings, and if they're in a certain orientation, if they're done in a certain way with flickering lights and stuff like that, that it can have a powerful hallucinogenic. It can create a hallucinogenic feeling or sense when you're watching stuff for a certain period of time. And if it's certain imagery, flickering lights, certain types of light, stuff like that. And if you're in that video game and you're watching you're really close to the screen in the video game, arcade, playing that game, you could get some serious, influences.
Oh yeah.
Or be affected by it.
Yeah, and it's I just would like to see the legit, if it's legit real. I would like to see some sort of evidential proof, because people could have recreate these, and it's not going to be real. So yeah, I mean that's all I have to say. I mean, do you guys want to say anything before we end this podcast?
I did have 2 more stories I wanted to tell, but they would take forever. So I'm gonna just choose one. I will want to do. So normal porn for normalpeople.com. So it's sorry about that.
No, it's alright.
It's nothing like you would expect. So this guy gets an email from his friend saying that he thinks he would like this site called normal porn for normalpeople.com, but it is nothing. And I mean nothing like those adult movies, It's strange things like there's this guy, he's licking a sink. It's called I just lost it. It's called clean.avi. So these why does this site exist? Why did people record these weird videos on it? What's the purpose? Is there something darker behind it? Is this site even real at all? Was it just a dream the whole time?
That is strange. Yeah, that is
did people just recreate these videos? Who knows?
That is,
it's a weird thing.
Wow, that is really strange. I don't know. Yeah, that's just, I know we had talked about this earlier. We might do coming up, we might do a broadcast about just these creepypasta stories, because as you go into them, they are really creepy, and just some of the ones you were telling me about. I mean, just like this one, and the ones we've mentioned today, the No Exit House, and the what was the name of the other one? The Backrooms, and then
it's just really strange ones.
Really strange, and then we had mentioned that you had mentioned the
Bob one,
the Bob one, the Russian sleep experiment, and some of these, and I want to start looking into some of these, because I'm
they're really interesting stories.
Yeah,
they are.
You'll find some bad ones, but
yeah. So I'm really interested, in so we might actually, I think for the, the month of October, we're trying to do some maybe spooky or interesting stories for Halloween. And so, I think we'll probably, sometime soon, we're probably going to do in the next episode or the one after, we'll do, we want to do some creepypasta stories, because these ones are I mean, the one you told me about, I'll be honest, the one with the Russian sleep experiment seems so creepy. It seems so creepy to me. And some of the pictures and some of the bits of the story that you were telling me about, it's really creepy. And it reminds me of other sleep experiments that I have heard of that are documented. And just, and like I said, we can go down that rabbit hole pretty soon. Yeah, we'll do that very soon because there are some wild and crazy stories, but they're interesting and make you think about.
Is this real? Legit?
About is it real? Yeah, if it's real or legit, and there's just such interesting stories.
Yeah.
But anything else you guys want to say?
No. I think that's about wrap it up right now.
Yeah.
Well, we had fun doing this podcast, and we'll make sure to see you all next time. So, take care.
Bye.
Adios, everyone.